What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the MRL Cup Series here for race 17 of the season at Texas. A big race for some and a filler race for others. Texas, on this game specifically, is a race of do's and don'ts. Do you go that extra mile in order to push the boundaries coming off of four, or going into turns one and two? And get as low as possible without hitting the apron. Joining me up in the booth, we have BS14 Cars, also known as the eventual Xfinity champion, should he actually complete a good race here at the Roval. But again, no pressure, I guess. BS, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for the free pressure. How you doing?
Just thanks for the free pressure. What do you mean? We have, what do you mean you have literally over a race distance? All you need to do is maintain a 181 point gap over Kalen going out of the Roval into Homestead, and you got the championship by default. You can not even show up to Homestead, and you'll be fine.
I've already told the Von Poon Garage this, but I'll make a public announcement here. If I clinch the championship at the Roval, I will run my Homestead qualifying lap backwards,
Back, as in like reverse backwards, or just like
reverse
define
backwards,
backwards. Okay, reverse backwards. Okay, I was
reverse,
about to say.
same as I did at Daytona.
Yeah, well, the thing is, people don't people don't actually see the qualifying laps, but there have been a couple times where he has indeed done reverse laps just to put in a time, and one of those times actually netted you a P2. I think that was Daytona. Um, no, it was. Yeah, it was
It
Daytona,
was
correct? Yeah,
Daytona.
it was Daytona. Okay, I
Yeah.
was about to say because it was T-Bird as well that put in a reverse Road America lap, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch that one. I just took his time and noted it down and watched it. Sorry if he's watching, but I was not about to waste 6 minutes watching that. Um, so, with that being said, we have Texas on board here for tonight, and of course, we have pole sitter, chicken eater, up here being the IRR in race reporter. Chicken, how you doing today? This is going to be a special race for you. This is I do believe, a hometown race for you.
I'm doing good today, Pat. Thanks for having me in the booth. Yep, this is my home track. I live about 30 minutes away, depending on traffic, so hoping for a
Depending
good
on
run.
traffic, depending on the breeze, the uh, the flights of the birds on the summer's day. But yeah,
Well,
we
there used to be a
are.
lot more traffic back in the day to get to a Texas race. Not as much now, sadly, but
Well, there we go. Of course, so winning here, as you have done in the past in in leagues like FRL and Elite, you have won here in dominating fashion. Going from a driver's perspective on a part-time, no less, what are your expectations for this race?
I think it should be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting to see how people handle or set up their cars for the exit of turn four, because to go faster, you want to be loose, but if you're too loose, you're going to be crashing on the front stretch every time. So it's going to be a tough balance, and I'm interested to see how it goes, especially with no stages to kind of save you if you make a mistake. So it should be fun.
Oh yeah, of course. People have been caught out by that before. We have that running joke with Brandon B. Right Racing of how many times can you speed this season. Currently, I think the number is at seven. So 7 times, 7 races where he sped. But of course, that is a thing now where. A thing now. I'm sorry, I'm getting inundated with messages letting everyone know that we have a very special, well, I guess, couple people to shout out. Of course, we're going to hold tonight's race in thoughts and prayers of BD's father. He's in the hospital. He's still going to be racing tonight, but of course, we're going to be racing with him in mind of, just hoping that he can get out of the hospital quickly, and as well as U.S. Trek Enterprise. His wife and grandkids are going to be watching. Of course, U.S. Trek is sitting P5 in the standings right now, and of course he's been telling his racing future, I guess, racers and his grandkids to give him a watch. So they will be watching tonight. So those people we are going to give a shout out for. So let's get back on the expectations for this race. BS, you had a complete list of notes. What are your big ones to watch out for these drivers?
You mean like drivers or
No, no, no. I'm sorry. What technical aspects for these drivers going to Texas? I'm sorry. I should have clarified.
Um, I'm going to echo what Chicken said. I think it'll be really interesting to see how people set up their cars. Tight is a little bit safer, but loose is faster, but it requires a lot more skill to drive, especially in turn four. On the FRL race here, I ran a preset one. It was really tight in turn one, but it handled great in turn three and four. And but in testing for the broadcast, I started running preset three. It was a lot faster, but if I made one mistake, it was over. So I'm really interested to see how people will set up their cars, who will have short run speed, who will have long run speed. The fuel window here is 28 laps, roughly, depending on how much throttle time you have. I don't know how much the draft will change that. I don't remember it being that strong last time I was here, but there you go.
Well, I'll tell you what, the normal draft on at Texas, you get that huge run going into turn three, and with that huge arc of well, that turn, it makes the track really wide. So there's a lot of space to get that draft going out of two, going into three, and then make the move. Dodgy turn left going into three right there. So that is going to be a passing opportunity right there. But of course, that comes at the risk of washing up the track and potentially getting loose off of four. So it's a risk versus reward type of system here, where especially with our two big contenders for the title right now, 92 points separates championship leader Cyber, and he will be starting P3 on the grid with Xander deciding to not put in a time. Bold strategy from him, but he will be lining up 11th. So meaning there was 10 people putting in a time, and let's go through them now. Of course, with us we have Chicken, who is going to be starting off from pole. Brandon, P2. B-Right Racing making this his fifth P2 starting position for the season. Still waiting for his cup pole. Real quick, I'm sorry. I'm going to make sure I am all right, cool. I am voiced and I am heard in the stream. I always have a fear now of no one can hear me because I've had a very consistent string of having my mic muted, and I'm
Just
like,
being muted.
yeah, I'm just talking. So yeah, we have okay now. Okay, yeah, people can hear me. Awesome. BD, of course. Like I said, we are racing with his father in mind. He is starting P4. Cade is going to be P5. Goose, US Check Enterprise, and like I said, his family's watching, and of course, like I said, that is going to be Annette, Hayden, and Nadia. So hopefully you guys are watching right now. That is exactly what we are doing here with the with the MRL Cup Series. So of course, like I said, yeah, of course, people giving me crap that I am not being heard. So, of course, going through here, we have Nathan Agent Orange, fresh off his first Elite Cup win, having a lot of confidence going into this race, P7, Liam P8, Justin Shack at P9, and Worst Cod P10. So, of course, those are the ones that put in times. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get into the Discord. Guys, if you want, you can talk about whatever. You can talk about real life Texas, what strategy you guys are going to be talking about. I mean, I will be talking to the Discord in order to kind of give my pre-race notes as well as get the lobby started. So, yeah, give me like a few seconds, guys, and I'll be right back.
You said you ran a preset one here, BS?
In FRL, yeah, I did.
Interesting. I definitely
What?
ran a looser one. I mean, I'm gonna wait till the race starts before I say what it was.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I understand.
I was definitely
I
looser.
The reason I set it up like that for the Texas race is because I was really paranoid of dying in four. But then
Yeah,
I learned how I could kind of negate that a little bit. Um,
yeah,
if I just wash up, you know where those inside white lines are. If you
yes.
just kind of wash up into those coming off the floor, put your right sides on them, you don't really get loose like you do when you're on the uh, on the middle bottom. I find you can kind of do the same thing on the very bottom if you make it straight enough, but I feel like that's slower.
Yep. Kind of requires some finesse, which is a little bit different compared to most tracks. A lot of mile and a halves are pretty straightforward, but this one at least has that to it.
Yeah, in testing I was trying out preset 3, and it was certainly faster for me, but I found it very hard to not make a mistake on that preset. So there's kind of I think there's a balance there to how much can the individual driver handle in terms of how loose he can make that race car.
I'm sorry, Patton was talking loud in my other ear. If you ask me a question, you're gonna have to repeat it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm
um,
talking to the Discord in that right now.
Yeah,
So like
you're
I'm giving
good.
my
It's
pre-race
just
notes, so I apologize about that. Chicken, I'm inviting you first, just so I can pause the lobby real quick.
okay. I gotta pick a scheme real quick. Sorry.
so chicken, over
Yes.
or under 15 seconds your margin of victory tonight?
Uh, that's gonna be a tough one.
That's a bold question. I mean, Jesus, you're essentially asking him how much he's going to win by.
I mean,
Yeah.
Rockstar's here, so, but he starts at the back, so maybe he'll get stuck. But I didn't expect Rockstar to race tonight, so um, we'll see. I mean, I think I'm one of the favorites. I don't feel super like 100% confident because I don't run black flags too often, so I gotta remember to actually slow down for pit road. And
Oh,
then
have you practiced pit
I have
road?
practiced. It's not. I have a mark, but it's still kind of difficult because if I shift at the wrong time, I get loose, or if I lift too early, I hit the apron. So it's definitely gonna be a tough pit road entry.
And that's one thing I don't think we've touched on yet. Texas pit road is surprisingly difficult to get onto. I'm curious how many people will wreck tonight coming on the pit road or otherwise speed or make some other related mistake.
Yep, I definitely think that'll happen. I hope that I'm not one of them. I've
Yeah,
made that mistake before in
that's what I'm
Elite.
expecting as well. Honestly, is the people that did and did not practice getting on pit road. That is going to be a big thing. Because Texas, I mean, honestly, guys, from your guys' perspective, do you think Texas is actually one of the hardest pit roads to get onto?
You want to answer first, BS?
It's it's the hardest one I've practiced anyway. I there's no grip, so when you stand, you can't really stand on the brakes or you'll just wreck. So it's
All right.
you first
Um,
gotta have to find a mark, and then you have to have good car control to actually get it slowed down to pit road speed without just spinning out. And I think I've done that twice. Once at Charlotte because I was sputtering, and then the other time I also did at Charlotte and Xfinity, and that was why I lost the lead draft in that race.
Yep. I do. I think it's probably the toughest mile and a half for sure. I haven't I haven't had to slow down for black flags for Darlington, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. But as
oh, it was
far as
super easy, honestly.
intermediate tracks, I'd say Texas is probably the most difficult. Just because the apron, if you hit it, it literally shoots you back in like the third lane immediately. And so it's tough.
Yes, actually, BS, that was actually on your list of notes. That hitting the apron is deadly, more so than any other track. Like hitting at Atlanta, oh yeah, a little bit bounces you off, but Texas, it will. especially if you're side by side, it will shoot you and it will just rock you into the next year. So, um, well, I've been on the receiving end as well as the giving end of that. So believe me when I say that you do not want to hit the apron, especially when it comes to coming off a two, because if you hit that apron, it's just going to bounce you and you're going to slap the outside wall coming off a two, and you're going to go spinning down the backstretch. So, especially so minimizing mistakes, especially when it comes to the points here, because points are very very tight. And we already talked about the first and second, or battle for first and second right now, and. But we need to also talk about the distance between Brandon B Right Racing and P3. I'm sorry, P4, as well as Goose and P5. That is 9 points, and actually, that's um, apart from those two. Another close battle is actually the 1 point distance between, or sorry, 10 points between Nathan, Agent Orange, and Cade. So there's points to be gained, and for anyone watching right now, essentially think of it like this: 5 points is one position because we use Winston Cup points here. We are old school. We are a bunch of old geezers that prefer the real. I'm kidding. But the season-long points format deserves the Winston Cup points. So that is what we're doing here. BS, you did not take your invite, correct?
I have not taken it yet.
Perfect. All right, looks like we will have 18 drivers, so a little bit more than what I was expecting, but well, always looking to have a good time with everyone here. With the field already set in place, like I said, Chicken is going to be the only one with choice, and I can expect Chicken, you're going to be choosing the bottom. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
I mean, I was about to say.
Yeah, I don't really see an advantage in the top at this track, so I'd pick the bottom.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, if unless you wanted to choose the top just to make it spicy, and assert dominance, I mean that's fine. You would have, I mean, you would have Brandon to your inside then, so that'd be your prerogative. But of course, yeah, you guys already talked on like the main things for this race. I think definitely the midfield battle is going to be huge. Of course, we have some fast guys coming from the rear. Um, like I said, some of these guys like Hunty Wild, Rockstar, Joe, all these guys that don't race full time, but they will be coming from the rear. And it is 9:15, so we will be rocking and rolling. All right, guys. 9:15 has come upon us. I'm unpausing the timer. Thank you guys for the invites. Good luck, guys. Let me know when we can join. All right, I wish. I swear, like I have the hardest time hitting the mute button on my Discord. Um, so we are good to go now. It looks like I said, we're gonna have 18 people. You guys can hear me, correct? Again,
Yes.
Yes.
just making sure, just making sure.
You're
All
muted
right,
Discord and you're talking in PSN. We're good.
all right. Just making sure. So, Chicken, of course,
Yep.
we're feel free to tune us out a little bit because we will be going over not just the guys up front, so your competition on the initial start, but we will be looking at most of the stuff in the midfield as well as the people in the back. So it's going to be a lot to take in. So good luck to you as well. And also, when we do ask for lap updates, don't do it immediately. Don't wreck yourself in order to happen. Of course, we're looking to have
Mm-hmm.
a good race here. So. um,
Yep.
Looks like we can take our invites. Awesome.
Yep, you can join.
All right, BS, let's go. Let's rock and roll.
I don't race too often, so I have to make sure clarifying the rules. We go for the initial start. We go with the start finish line and pace speed 70. Or
Yes. So,
okay,
no, pace
making
speed will
sure.
be 60. Pace speed will be 60.
Okay, it's 60. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just making sure.
BS, are you already in here? Oh, he's getting his
I
mic
am.
adjusted. Okay. Was there a last minute join? I may have been seeing 19 people in without us joining. Oh, this is
I'm
a
not sure. I wasn't paying attention.
This actually is a... This is a lot nicer than the fall race. It's actually nice and early. But of course, we're going to see a lot of jockeying for positions right now. There is going to be 167 laps of hopefully a green flag racing here. But yes, if you didn't hit it on it already, who are your ones to watch?
Hunty, Chicken, Xander. Hunty and Chicken because they're probably going to be the two fastest guys in the field, and Xander because he's looking to cut down on his championship deficit to Cyber. And I'm really curious of his strategy of starting 11th after not playing at a time.
Well, like I said, that is a bold strategy there, but you can see that it may or may not work out. So, of course, that will be the one to watch. And this is such a nice time of day to have a Texas race. I mean, you can see that without the doom and gloom of the fall race, there's no excess shadows. This looks like 2 o'clock on a nice Texas afternoon, and these drivers are lined on up, coming off of 4. Sure to be a trouble spot here throughout this run. Of course, BS, you have your list of notes. I have my list of notes. I'm looking to see the 8 of Chicken here go through the field because we are green light here. But I'm going to be watching Xander on this opening lap because I think Chicken, by just choosing the bottom lane, he's going to immediately clear Brandon by just running that bottom. Oh, yeah. But I'm watching Xander here as he, of course, is fighting for a title, but he will be pivotally on the bottom. And he is going to hold that bottom all the way down the front stretch. And actually, ooh, the 19 of Agent Orange gets a little shunt. And is now going to go 3 wide coming out of 4. That's not what you want to do on lap 1. Oh, but they hold it together. Very nice work. But you can see that top side deteriorating immediately. Immediately as soon as that race actually starts. Of course, then 00 of Hunty looking to get some spots made. Liam actually is the biggest loser out of all of that right there, from P6 all the way down to, what is that, 18th right now? Oh my gosh! Oh, but the one is there and it gets put into the wall a little bit. Oh, that was a 3 wide moment gone wrong. So the 1 is now on the outside as the 14 I can see is now in the lead. That is his championship imploding right now, essentially.
Oh, interesting. I've been on board with Hunty for the first few laps.
Oh, that's 4 wide. I'm sorry to interrupt you right there, but that was 3 wide gone wrong, and that 20 gets absolutely shunted out of the way. I think that was a 41 trying to go for the gap, but that 17 was unwilling to give it up. Oh, and a little bit of contact was made right there, and that's just all about the... I always talk about the driver mentality. This is, what, lap 5? Not even? I don't know if it's time for risk versus reward items like that. Yeah, you gotta... Yeah, that was definitely needing maybe to be thought about again. But anyway, BS, I'm sorry, go on.
I was riding along with Hunty for those first few laps, and he was... unlike apparently some of these other drivers, he was being very patient, just minding his own P's and Q's, and he knows he'll get his way up there.
And especially with the knowledge of, by him being patient, one of the things that isn't really thought about all too often is when you go like super aggressive going in, like, I'm just going to lunge into turn 1 or turn 3, you actually burn up your tires. And of course, tires is a very pivotal piece of info for this race here, because of course we always talk about fuel and hitting your number and make sure that you can actually hit your fuel number for each stint. But your tires here, especially at a track that is so loose, especially coming off of 4, you want to be actually able to hit your tire number as well. Make sure you don't lose that wear too quickly. Oh, what happened to Xander? Oh, looks like the Rockstar must have had a bit of an issue. The 88 88 must have gotten to Xander right there. So right now Xander is not looking too hot. Still not even in the top 5. Looks like he is sitting a 1, 2, 3, 4 P9 right now, and that is not what you want to see, especially as you are trying to chase on down your title contender. But looks like the 88 got wicked loose coming off of 4, and that's going to put him on the bottom, the 1 of Xander up top. The 22 is going to capitalize, but he bounces off the apron, and look how much time he's going to lose coming out of 2. And that's exactly what we were talking about. You cannot bounce off the apron like that, especially this early into a run, because you are going to lose so much time. And now BD is now only holding on to that by virtue of that draft, and the draft's so important here. BS, who do you have your eyes on right now?
I was just flicking the BD to see what was going on. I was flicked through the field just trying to see what everybody's up to. It looks like who's that? 14, the Cyber leading. He's starting to gap the field a little bit, which I think is pretty interesting. He's got a good car so far.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that's just because that second pack, from second all the way to 6 right now, as they go 3 wide. They are
3 wide.
Yeah, they are 3 wide because they are battling so hard. They're essentially allowing the 14 just to gap them. Oh my goodness, and that's Chicken. That was okay. So that was the 17 trying to get behind the 19, but he wasn't quite clear as the 17 now gets loose and he holds on to it. Oh my goodness. And so I see a little bit of contact in the back. That is a 48 now into the wall, getting wicked loose coming out of 4. And now we can see, that's what I'm talking about with tire wear, guys. Now is the time where the freshness of those tires are gone, and you are now on the danger zone every time you go out of 2 and 4. I seem to get loose coming off of 2, and I get wicked loose coming off of 4. And it's all about that management of your setup and how tight you make it.
I just want someone to go in there and tell these guys to chill. It's like lap 10.
BS, you've been in this league since the Xfinity Series started, and you can tell, you know for sure that I've come in and said that multiple times, and ultimately it's up to them to decide when is go time and when's not.
This is that's the grass. Who is that?
20
is that
cars
Cade?
off track.
Well, Cade, that's the grass, buddy.
Oh, the 20. Oh, no. Oh, Cade. And then gets into Pied Piper. And now Xander gets into the 20 as well. But thankfully, no caution. Now Pied Piper trying to hold together. I have no idea what happened there that caused that. But looks like the 38 decides, you know what, back on out of it. I think they're communicating with each other right now. I think maybe that was unintentional. But, oh, my goodness. But that was a top 5 for the 20, now all the way outside of the top 10.
Top 3 starting to pull on away. It looks like Cyber, Mopawa, and Agent Orange have gapped themselves from 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Of course, you can see UK has the 18 of UK very consistent. Usually he takes a little bit longer to get through the field, but he has found his way to the front, P2 to be exact, already in this race. And you can... And, oh, is that a caution? That is a caution. And actually, I'm getting word that was Hunty saying something about the 48, so I wonder if it was the 48 that, yep, looks like it, that got involved in that yellow. So that's unfortunate from that, but the first caution is now upon us, so that's essentially going to restack the field, and now we are going to go in a fresh pair of boots now with those tires. But now this messes up with strategy, of course. Now we are going into, okay, plan B, plan C, and maybe even plan D now, because how many laps are we into this race, Chicken?
Sorry, Rockstar stuck me in Discord. What'd you say?
What lap is it? How many laps ago, I should say?
Let me see when the HUD comes up here.
Yeah, that's fine. But we are green here.
We're on lap 19 at the line.
Lap 19.
So
Oh, wow.
149 to go.
149 to go.
Everybody pulling out the calculators. I wonder if anybody's going to try to save those 3 laps at some
Of,
point.
of course, we've seen something like that happen at Kentucky specifically. The 6 of Packers going out on top there, knowing that he did not have to stop that second time, as the 41 of Justin Shackett totally overshot that corner. Now they're going to go 3 wide, coming off of 4. Xander all the way on the bottom to 41, holding it nice and stout right there in the middle. The 17 up high, as they are still 3 wide coming into turn 1, but now the 22 gets moved a little bit. He got wicked tight coming into turn 1, and now that is just... Oh, you can see the people kind of backing it out there. The 17 did a great job of absolutely backing it out and make sure that he lived to race another lap right there. So very heads-up driving from the 17. Props right there. However, I do see a battle going for the lead right now. The 18 wants it. The 14 has it. And the 1 has made his way up there. But the 19 of Nathan, Agent Orange, is saying otherwise. He's saying, hey, you know what? You guys battle. I want the piece of this action. Oh, but the 14 gets wicked loose. The 14 is now diving down low. Now the 18 has preferred lane, a lot of momentum, and takes the lead going into turns 3 and 4. The 14, I don't think the adjustments he made may not be suiting him. As the 1 now is going to go look to the outside here. What's going to happen here into turn 1 and 2? You can see maybe a potential strategy move that the 14 has is... He put a long run setup into his car as and now kind of suffering on the short run here.
These restarts are just absolute madness.
Oh, especially as they get to turn 4, because that is where the real fun begins. Oh, but I see some melee, a little bit of wall touch going in the. Going through the quad oval right there. The 43 got wicked loose and actually clapped the wall a little bit, but he still retains his top 10 right there. So it was just nothing too crazy, but he did scrape the wall a little bit and lost a little bit of momentum. Oh, nice move from the 43 as well. Fitting in right in front of the 22, right behind the 8. That was perfect. He could not fit a piece of paper between that with what he did right there.
Interesting. Let's see what's going on back here. Hunty's still chilling out the back here. He's going underneath Peckers, looking for like 15th or something.
Oh, and that's one thing from Packers though you don't really see. Is on the short runs he tends to kind of flounder a little bit. However, in the long runs is where he comes to life. So let's keep an eye on him. That's just how Packers operates here. But coming to life, you can see the 1 is now looking, showing the 18 that he wants that bottom lane. He's actually going to try to take it, but no, the 18 is going to have the momentum coming in the middle of 3 and 4. But the 88 is now going to put Cyber to the outside, and these guys are doing a great job on holding it too wide, coming off of 4, because that each and every time I kind of cringe as well if I'm on the outside, just hoping and praying that the person below me does not get loose and absolutely wreck me into next week. But that is what I'm seeing from these guys right now, as they are indeed holding their lines and moving forward. You can see the people that are getting loose as the 19 does that. Oh, and that puts the 22 into the wall. And the 19 now just holding into the grass, staying out of harm's way, but he will lose a lot of spots. Oh, and the 3 of US Trek, what was that? That was an absolute, dive going to turn 1. That put the 20 and the 42 on the outside and just moved him out of the way. The 48 right in front of that actually hits the apron. That's going to be another spot for the 3 here, and actually hits the wall as well. So that's probably going to be a spot for the 20 and 42 right now.
Turn 4 is being just as treacherous as we expected. It's costing people a lot of time when they make those mistakes.
And actually, one thing I'm noticing as well is actually a little bit of lag. I don't know who that was. I think that was a 17, but I can't say for certain unless someone calls it. But I'm seeing a lot of people go single file here, BS. Of course,
Out for the lead.
oh, hang on, let's go up there. Thank you, chicken.
Oh,
We're just gotta make it. Oh, that is 3 wide. Oh my goodness, and now the 18. Oh my goodness, what the heck?
Oh, they're wrecking. There's like 4 of them.
Yep, that's a caution.
What the heck? Man, give me 1 second, guys.
I just start scrolling up there and I just see cars spinning every direction.
I didn't see what caused the wreck, but up front, the 18 hit the apron off 4, and Xander was able to get under him in the front stretch, and they made contact entering turn 1, and that slid the 18 and the 88 up the track. And then the caution came out for something else.
Alright, well, that was actually a lag incident from the 43, so the 43 does have his first lag warning of the race, and he was actually looking pretty stout there beforehand, but unfortunately that is, just how racing goes sometimes. Lag incidents do happen, but, that's why we have the 3-strike rule, so... Of course, now we are restarting here. Xander has the lead. The 14, though, actually has the outside. And we have a... Oh, now you can see people immediately going to the bottom lane. No one wants the top here. And you can see that...
I'm going to be riding along with chicken here on this restart.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
Lap 32.
Lap 32. So, okay, you guys are now in bounds of making it in 3 more stops. Or, sorry, 4 more stops. Oh, my goodness. I see a little bit of contact from the rear right there. Come on. Oh, my goodness. That Goose US Trek Enterprise spun around, and that is not a caution. But that is unfortunate. You don't want to go backward there, my guy. Yeah, just got to keep it righted and get going. But no, that was a single car incident, so that is unfortunate from the 3. But I think someone may have just gotten loose, and he just was, of course, on the top side, where you don't want to be, kind of similar to what I was saying. The 00 of Hunty has moved his way forward. Of course, BS, that was one of your picks right there. He has found a little speed going into this run right here.
I've been running along with Chicken for his restart. What I noticed him do, and I noticed Rockstar do earlier. If you can get a good run off of 2, you can actually pass on the outside in 3 and 4. Oh, he's about to do it here to Xander.
Oh, Chicken, lead us the way. Show us what you're going to do right now. Actually, we're right on board with UK, who's going to have a perfect view of this, but it looks like he doesn't quite have the momentum. However, you can see by taking that top side, that's because the momentum with the draft allows you to kind of pull yourself forward. However, that kind of dissipates going to turn 3 itself, because now it transfers to the bottom. So it's a balancing act here, guys. As you can see, people kind of want to shift from the top to the bottom, depending on where they are on the track. You can see the 8 doing it again. Wants to hold it on his outside. He wants to be side by side. Going out of turn 2 here, but Xander holding stout on the bottom. That actually opens up the door for the 18 down low. Now the 00 right behind him, giving him draft, and now the 1 as well, making sure that he is giving draft to the bottom here to hold, essentially hold the bottom lane accountable and keeping him in check. Now the 1 just wants to pull on away here. As I am seeing BS, pivotally though, the 14 of Cyber is on that outside, and that is not what you want to see from the points there. Oh, no, never mind. He's shifted to the bottom. Never mind. Okay, making a liar out of me.
I think Cyber needs a really good point stay today to be...
Oh, the 88 Rockstar moves him out of the way, and that is not, as you're saying, point stay, that is not what he wants to do, so now he is outside again. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, that is not what you want to see from the 14 of Cyber, because as you mentioned prior to the race, in actually a DM, you're saying in preparation for this race that Cyber cannot have a repeat of the Indy Road Course. The Indy Road Course, of course, was last week, and he, if anything could go wrong, did go wrong for the 14, and he had a P10 finish, and that may sound pretty good, but when your championship rival wins, in dominating fashion no less, You are 10. Ooh, but a checkup right there, and that puts the fourth.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
that looks dangerous.
that was a lot of checkup right there, but thankfully the guys hold it stout right there. Some new arrivals to the top 10 here. I'm looking at the 4 and the 42. The 42 being Bush, making his return to the MRL, and the 4 of Joe. Joe, of course, running up on a part-time basis, is now looking to capitalize on his starts.
I think this is a home track for Joe as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is correct. So it is a hometown track for a lot of these guys here up in front. So they want to make the most of it. Ooh, the one gets wicked loose coming out of 4, and that's going to allow the 8 to close on him. We're seeing from the top approach right now just how much ground he gained. He was about maybe like 4/10 back, and now he's right on his bumper right there from just one little bobble, and that's what I'm talking about. It's very much a battle of inches. Every race I say that. It's not about who can make the most moves in one lap. It's about, okay, how much ground can I make every single lap?
So tight. 22 in the wall.
Yeah, 22 must have had some kind of moment there. Now that puts the 4 to the outside right there, and the 22 goes from P4 all the way back to P7, so losing 3 spots in that process. However, the 41 starting to detach themselves from this little train right now. You can see the top guys really starting to make their way to the front, and now they are forming a little Formula One equivalent of the DRS train. Now we call it the draft pack. I just made that up, so we don't call it that, but I call it that. And essentially, if you're not part of it, you're not going to be a part of the lead group unless you have some ungodly speed. And we've seen it from time to time where, sometimes you are just fast enough to catch a group of drafting guys. We've seen it at Charlotte. We've seen it at Iowa. Iowa, of course, was less pronounced, but that's because
got loose.
I was on board with Piper.
Got loose.
I was on board with Piper right there, who actually bit the apron of. Oh my goodness! And that may be a yellow right now. And that is a yellow.
Yep,
that was. We were actually on board with that. That was Pied Piper, and it was Pied Piper getting involved with the 20 of Cade. Not entirely sure, but that whose fault that was. If Pied Piper thought he was loose or something like that, but the 38 bounced off of the car below him because they were 3 wide and went to the outside and obliterated Cade. So now these restarts are going to be stacked up again. So we've been having a good solid stint of green flag laps before a caution here, but of course it's not about like I said, it's not about who makes up the most ground. It's about who makes up the most ground every single stint. So of course, Chicken now is on the outside again. The 1 is down below. The 18 right behind the 1, and the 88 right behind the 8. Going to be on board. Let's go on board with someone in the middle of the pack. So let's go with BD and see from the front to back perspective and see how aggressive it is coming off of 4, where he decides to go. He decides to go at the bottom. However, the 00 was actually going a little bit too slow for his liking, so he went back up to the top. You can see it. Ooh, the 14! The 14 bounced off the apron and actually checked on up the 4 and the 00. So that's actually going to allow the 22 to actually gain a spot right there. Now the 41 as well to move on forward. The 00 gets knocked out of the way, so that's unfortunate from Hunty right there. But now he is looking forward as the my eyes don't deceive me as there's a lot of cars. The 8 is now putting the 1 under pressure now. A bit of a chop right there, but of course the 1 is racing for a championship. I get what his where his mental state is at, but yeah, that was.
I got a little piece of the apron, but luckily no harm, no foul.
Yeah, there we go.
Worse.
But you can actually see let's go on board with Chicken right now on how close he is to that bottom here, BS. And that's actually one of the things that I wanted to talk about is there's time getting as low to that apron as possible. Yeah, you see that right on that white line. That's the line that you optimally want to run, but run it at your own risk, because usually when you take the corners a lot faster than you can handle, you get loose, or if your setup can't allow it, you are running the risk of absolutely destroying your car as the one gets a little tight, but the 8's going to be there on the outside. And this is a BS. That's exactly what you're talking about now, as the draft is now favors him. Will he be able to get around the 1 going into 3 and 4? Looks not like it, but the 14 is going to try to fill the hole on the bottom. Will the momentum carry the 8 past the 14? No, it won't right now, because the 14 is getting draft from the 4. A bunch of new names up here in the top 5, like I said.
Looks like some interesting pack racing going on right now.
Brandon lag warning number 1. Alright, so that is Brandon B-Ray Racing with a lag warning right there. You can see that, of course, with 19 drivers in the race right now, there is a lot of course, a lot of different servers, a lot of different IPs, so I optimally want to be running at peak efficiency, but sometimes lag does happen, like I said. And currently, that's only the second incidence of lag. The 14, though, looking pretty good, as we've seen. The 22 bobbles really bad right there, but thankfully holds on up towards the front. The 14, though, taking no prisoners, is going to be looking to the bottom of the 1 here. But he overshot the turn, and that will be, oh no, that's not what you want. Coming into turn 3, he wanted to get to the draft of the 1, but he actually overshot the draft marker and actually clobbered the wall. That's a weird mistake to make right there from the championship leader, BS.
And it cost him 3 spots. He went from 2nd to 5th in that exchange. It is, however, still early in the race, so he can still rebound. Oh boy, now it's about to be 3 wide again.
So many drivers in the field. It takes me so long to get back up to where that was. I'll just go with Chicken, who's right behind the 14, drafting with the 18 in order to get back up there. But yeah, he was P2. As someone is spinning on the infield, who is that? That is the 38. I think he's probably going to park it based on where he's going right now. Yep, the 38 is parking it. But there was someone else spinning through the grass. I think it was Packers. Oh yeah, Packers is way off the pace right now. He is all the way back there. Something must have happened off of turn 4. But that is unfortunate for Packers, who honestly, privately was really looking forward to this race. Of course, Packers loves the long races. The longer the race, the better, in his opinion. And Texas, honestly, one of the longer races on the schedule. If you were to run it from green to checkered, it would take about an hour and 45 around-ish minutes. So one of the longer races. Races on the schedule for sure.
That sounds about right.
Caution's out or something.
Caution's out? Wonder what that was for. Sounds like
It
something
seems to
with...
me like there's a pattern here. We're about 10.
It seems like we go about 10 laps. Yep, then there's a caution.
Sounds like something with Justin Shackett and the 00 that brought out the yellow. Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, about 10 laps and then a caution. But, currently Piper is the only one out of this race. So, despite that, he will get his points for starting the race. So, albeit 19th place points, but still points nonetheless. Kind of looking through the field, though, looks like Brandon also may have had some kind of issue because now he's in the back of the pack. But now, one thing we saw with last race is that Cyber, if he can't stop this downward spiral, he is going to be in a world of hurt, because at the Indy Road Course, he was not able to rebound from all of his mistakes. or mistakes from other drivers, but being collected in other
Oh,
people's
three
mistakes.
wide.
I saw that right
Oh, that
there.
was close.
Yeah, that was really close. The 14 got really overzealous. He tried to go to the bottom of the 22, but there just was not a gap. And you can see that right now the 14 just needs to stop the bleeding and make sure he doesn't lose more positions, because if he can't get clear of
Oh,
the
18 in the wall.
yeah, if he can't get clear of the top side before coming off a 2, he's in a world of hurt. Now the 88 and the 4 looking to try to take the lead here. Oh, the 1's blocking low, but the 88 will gladly look high here. And that will... We're hearing something going on with something in the back of the pack. Oh! Alright, so it looks like... Yeah, it looks like maybe the 3 got put 3 wide by the 17, and now... Yeah, I think... Talking about the driver mentality again, you know, it's to try to stop the bleeding. You know, you gotta make sure that you have a clear head in order to make the best out of a bad situation here, as people are starting to get single file, going side by side.
Outside. Ducks back down. If you were racing this race, Patton, and you noticed a pattern of 10 laps caution, 10 laps caution, like we've seemed to have had so far, would you change your sub a little bit to account for that? Because for me racing this track, there seems to be a way to set it up for the first half of the run, and then you said there's a way to set it up for the second half of the run.
And I think that's actually what to kind of answer your question with a statement. I think that's what the 14 was doing right there, because remember, he was really in a bad position like there a few runs ago, but it looks like he's kind of found his footing here lately. So I think to answer your question, BS, if you notice a trend, you kind of have to go with the trend. You have to loosen up the car a little bit, because if we're looking at like 10 lap sprints essentially, you have to pardon me, you have to make sure that you're in front at the end of 10 laps, because that's when the tires start falling off, that's when people start making more mistakes, that's when people's patience start running out. So ideally, from the driver perspective, you want to make the best in most spots in a run, at the same time not ticking off your fellow drivers who are trying to do the same thing. Kind of like the same thing, ideally, right here with the 41 and the 48. Looks like the 48 kind of ran up the 41 up the track. Now the 19 is also getting a little peeved right now and trying to get down below the 20. Goes and puts the 43 up top, but kind of backs on out of it. But the 19, though, with the 48 hitting the grass, going to be right on the back bumper of the 48. But that's just the kind of thing I'm talking about. That's just the kind of thing I'm talking about, though. Is you know, you want to make the best out of it, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes, you know, you have other drivers doing the same thing, and well, you have to pass them at some point, but you don't want to anger them. Looks like the top 5. I don't know. Looks like the 88 did not want to even attempt to run the top right there, so he backed on out of it. Almost collected the 8 in a that's how the 8 almost got collected. The 14 looks down low. That's exactly what I was talking about. But that's exactly what I was talking about. That is a really risky play, because the 22 kind of chopped right there, and that put the 14 on the apron. He had to collect himself. Now he is looking down low. Yes, he's still in the preferred lane, but he lost a lot of time. And that is how you don't make friends. Piper, I see you in chat right now. Sorry about what happened. If you have a clip you want to send, please do send it.
Looks like we've got a 10-car breakaway at the front.
Oh, and you can see the people that are starting to get loose, people that are starting to really not like the tires that they're on right now. You can see that the 8 is having a really strong car, able to hold it on the top side, despite that not being the preferred line. The 14, though, may start to be struggling a little bit, but call that no draft, call that worn tires, whatever you want to call it. It's still a show of how strong that 8 is running, as the 14 clears him right there. Good talk. Going to the second pack here, the 19 has actually cleared the 48, and the 48, oh, we saw that right there. That was the 48 crowding the 17 to the apron, and the 17 not taking any crap and putting the 48 up the track, and now, like I said, making friends. Making friends. The 48 is not having a fun time right now.
That's a very interesting. I'm not seeing a lot of patience right now, and it sounds like it's not happening in the back either.
No.
Which may have something to do with what we're having.
We've had a dive bomb to the
22 put
lead.
the one up.
Oh, the 22. Oh, hang on. Okay, so many drivers I need to get up there. I'm going to be on board with the 18 who is in that pack. The 22 looks like may have sent it going into turn 3. Like I said, that was a passing opportunity that I talked about in the pre-race. You get that huge draft on the backstretch and you make the pass in turn 3, but it sounds like that was a bomb.
Xander's going to lose a lot of positions out of he's already lost the lead. He looks like he's going to lose second here, probably third as well.
It's the downward spiral, but again, he just has to run it and hope that a hole opens up here pretty soon. Oh, he tried. He was looking there with the bottom of the 88 and the 8, but the hole may actually open up. He's going to try it. He's going to have the draft. There we go. He's going to settle in right there. But now the 14, oh my goodness, what the heck? That was, I think what happened there with the 14, he thought about it and then at the last minute decided against it. And that kind of serpentine and checked up the 8 and the 1 a little bit. So that was a bit of a, that could have been a move that may have brought out a yellow. But now on board with the 14 right now, he is looking down low. But the 14, I don't know if the 22 is just blocking or if the 14 just cannot get enough of a run. He can get it to where he's like in the corner panel of the 22, but then just can't quite. Oh, the 8, a little bit of contact. Hold on to it, guys. Oh, the 1, a big checkout from the bottom. Oh, it's getting dicey up here, BS. The 14 getting loose. Oh, the 14. Oh, this turn 3 is going to be real interesting here. The 14, everyone's kind of getting out of the way. The 14 is not liking what he's on right now.
And BD's up high.
BD's up high. The 1 down low. Oh, the 88 getting loose, and now no one wants to be in the top. They are 3 wide in the quad oval. This turn 1's going to be real interesting. The 4 down low, the 8 right behind, the 22, the 88 checking up to get to the bottom, and the 22 still not clear. We'll take the spot. Okay, wow, that's a lot to take in.
Guys, calm down. It's like lap 50 or something.
Yeah, actually, Chicken, what lap is it right now? Let's get an update on that. Oh, Xander in the wall!
In the wall.
Oh,
Xander in the wall! Oh, and Xander in the wall again!
Grab Joe. Okay. It is lap 79, 89 laps to go.
89 laps to go, and how close are you?
Oh my God.
Again, don't answer us right now. I know you're side by side right now, but just give us a rough estimate on when pit stops should be happening.
I have 13 laps of fuel, so probably 10 or 11 laps from now. Xander's led a lot, so he might be one of the first ones to pit.
Okay, so let's just rough estimate here, 10 laps. Oh, the 4 of Joe into the wall now. These tires, guys, are not agreeing with them right now. This is the moment where the real long-run players are starting to make their way to the front. Who can actually maintain and hold turn 4? The 22 bounced off the 00 right there. That was close.
In the way they're racing, I don't know if they're going to make it to green flag pit stops.
I don't know right now, but that top pack is what I'm seeing right now. What I'm loving though is the abilities for when they are side by side. Really, the people that have been slapping the wall have been doing it by themselves as the 4 nudges the 00 out of the way, and now the 00 goes up the track and lose 1, 2, possibly 3, depending on where the 18 goes. No, he rides right behind the 00. Loss of 2 positions, but that 22 is either tight or loose or maybe both, depending on where he's at on the track. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just settle down, guys. There's only so much I can take. Oh, look at a little bit of grass being uprooted by the 17 right there. We have a 3-car pack. That is the 17, the 6, and the
14
40.
loose, and that's the lead gone.
Oh, let me get back up there. Where is he at? We'll be on board with Chicken right here. So the 14 of the doubles, the 14 is now on the inside. The 88 up top. Xander is now trying to ride with the 88. Of course, Xander's going to go wherever the 14's not. Of course, he is racing for him for the bigger picture here. So the 1 is going to be doing everything that the 14 is not. If he goes... oh, the 1 slaps the wall. He got way too tight coming off a 2. Oh, the 1 I can tell is in a downward spiral.
3.
He has to regroup. He's going to go 3 wide. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is... 3 wide coming off of 4, the 22 gets loose.
In the grass.
He's going to hold it down low, though. That is not what you want to see if you are a BD fan. Of course, like I said, the 22 is now really loose. The 1's really loose. The 1 right now just has to just regroup and just know that, hey, we're not even halfway yet. There's still a lot of time to make up. Just don't compound a mistake with another one.
I think Xander was talking about that after the Indy road course race. He was talking about making mistakes, and he said he made both of his mistakes on the exact same lap.
Well, right there, we kind of saw that wasn't quite the exact same lap. It was 2 laps put together, so...
Sometimes the inside for the lead.
Sometimes it just be like that. Is that Jagger signaling to get on pit road, or do you just get loose? We're going to be on board with him right now to see if pit stops are going to happen here. Nope, he just got loose. One thing I'm seeing, though, is that the 42 and the 19 are actually really making their way forward. They're holding their ground with the guys right here, and they are not really getting... Oh, 19 is stopping this time, so that is our first stopper for the race. Hopefully he practiced getting on pit lane, because that brake bias is not what you want to see, and he actually... Oh, he spins it. That is what I'm talking about. You want to practice getting on pit road. Oh, that is why I said it. You do not want to spin it. That is why we practice getting on pit road. But yeah, the 19, though, he just did a 360. He's good. He probably lost maybe at most 5 seconds. Nothing too crazy, but he's still not out of the race, so that's good. So we're going to see pit stops start to happen right now. 19 is the first one down right now, so who will follow him? It is now currently Rockstar in the 88, Chicken in the 8, and the 14 as the top 3, of course. I want to make a note here. Cyber has not had a podium since race 10. Just getting that out there.
What track was that? What track was that?
Let me actually look at my stats real quick. Cyber. That was Dover. So,
Dover.
And then since then, so actually I covered it in my most recent MRL Fastlane video. The average finish of the first 10 races of the season was 2.8. Since then, in the past 6, it has been 9th. 2.8 to 9th.
So basically, since I got the pole at Dover, he hasn't been able to do anything.
Yeah, it's all your fault, BS.
Yeah, clearly. Sorry, Cyber.
Well, that is that's just a stat out there. So like I said, that's what he wants to do, and make sure that he can actually rebound his season right now, because as pit stops are starting to happen, we're hitting. So the U.S. Trek is going to be pitting this time. And you can see that there is a person already on pit lane. That is the 48. 8 cars pitting this time, so the leader is going to be pitting, and of course that is going to have a person immediately behind them who received that message, who didn't. Who will they pit at the same time? Looks like the 14 will also come down. The 88 as well. Oh, this is going to be interesting, guys. Rockstar is going to be taking the high side. Oh, chicken, that was really late on the brakes right there, but hey, they hold it together, so there we go. The 00, the 1 pits with the lead pack.
Coming down.
The 6 gets a little loose, but holds it together. But he's coming down this time. Looks like the 17 is coming down this time as well. The 41 is going to hold it on out. 4 has already is already out and away. So chicken, when everything comes, everything when these stops finish, we're definitely gonna need a update on where everyone is.
Surprised they made pit road right there. I think I was going like 48, so good thing for the 5-mile-per-hour buffer.
Well, there we
That
go.
was close.
00 and the 18 are in right now, so that's just 1 lap immediately after. BS, you did practice here. What is the advantage of pitting earlier as opposed to later?
Short pitting will allow you to get fresher tires sooner. The fall off for me was about a second in my testing, so that's about a second lap of fresher tires for the for the guys who short pit, but then they're exchanging that with having to deal with older tires sooner, if you will.
Yeah, and that's actually one thing I noticed is that. Oh, as there is someone in the grass up on the front stretch. Who was that? Is that the 9 of Worskod? That was the 9 of Worskod. Oh, yeah, I think he's just trying to get out of the way right now. In the middle of...
I've cycled back out to the front. So.
Alright, so the 9 of Worskod is going to be taking the
Joe
top...
looks like he gained some time on pit road.
And that's... that just shows that if you are aggressive going onto the pits, if you practice pit lane, that is how you get rewarded, as the 18 almost scruffed the outside wall right there. Looks like... let's go on board with chicken right now to see if the top 3 have kind of expanded or a little bit. The 88 is right behind the 8. The 14 still in that lead pack with the 4 now up in that lead pack as well. Nothing too crazy though. That second pack though has changed a little bit, and it looks like if I can go on board that, the BD in the 22 is all by his lonesome with the 1 right behind. And then the 42 behind that, battling with the 19, I do believe. Yes, the 19. So that is P6 and 7th right now. Justin Shackett's P8. The 00 of Hunty is P9 with the 20 of Cade P10. The 18th is UK, that's P11. Brandon is P12. But that is actually the largest and closest pack out of everyone here. So, all right, congrats, guys. We went a full fuel run on green flag stops. Oh, the 00 takes a big leap right there and gets around the 41. That was momentous right there. And that is and that is because the 9 is acting as a choke point. So, essentially, the 00 saw an opportunity and took it. But now,
that's what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. But now everyone else is looking. Oh, but that was looking almost to be looking 3 wide there for a hot second. Everyone taking a little piece of that grass right there, taking up their part-time job as a lawn care. Ooh, the 41 gets shoved out to the outside right there, but the 18 gets put in. Oh, the 41's around. So many camera shots. Where is he at? But he gets it going again. That is unfortunate from... Alright, so looks like the 19 is now within spitting distance. Oh, passing the 42 of Bush. We actually heard an apology from the 19 of Agent Orange and the 42, so there must have been some kind of incident with them. Probably getting off of 4 or something like that. I would expect.
I've been watching this front group since the pit cycles, and they've been nose to tail, single file. It looks like people have finally started to calm down, at least in the front, and that's benefiting Cyber a lot. He's just chilling there running P3, exactly what he needs for his points day.
And honestly, he's doing exactly what he needs to do right now, having a very solid race. And honestly, he's in front of Xander. And albeit realistically, well, let me rephrase that. Mathematically, Xander's still in the title fight. But if they were to finish exactly where they are, Cyber has led a lap, and Xander has led a lap. There will only be a difference of 10 points, so a 102-point deficit will be first and second right now. That, to me, is realistically championship to Cyber. Something needs to radically change here in the next half of this race for that to change.
I think realistically, if they finish where they are, I haven't done the math on where Cyber would need to finish. So realistically, he would have to not qualify and not race for the last race in order for him to lose the title from where they stand right now.
Yes, because I am seeing the 22 of... Oh, sorry, that is a 15-point gap, so that would be 107. Oh, the one of Xander just clobbered the turn 2 right there. So, yeah, he's dealing with a ailing car right now. But actually, that would be a 15-point gap because that is P3. Joe is P4. I was wrong. I apologize. BD is P5. Xander P6. Let's see here. Let's go on board with that. Hunty, P7. Looks like UK and UK and Nathan Agent Orange, P8 and 9. So looks like everyone having a very much quieting down a little bit. Looks like for the most part we got our cautions out of the way. As I say that right now, the Packers gets loose, but thankfully no yellow from that.
14 got loose.
So many drivers to go through.
He's alright.
Just got loose.
I thought he was going to lose a spot to Joe there, but he held on to it. And Joe's in the wall. That's nice.
Well, that's one thing that Joe doesn't want to do is lose his lead pack, because right now they're acting as they're just helping each other out with draft. With a normal draft, they're essentially, as long as they can maintain a single file, they're going to be pulling away from everyone not in this draft, which currently is sitting at a healthy backstretch distance between 4th and 5th.
Yeah, I'm on Joe's camera right now. I can't even see 5th from his camera. They're coming off right now, and they're like a little white dot.
Yeah, I can see BD all the
pit stop cycle. BD was 2.7 back. He's now over 5 seconds back in just a couple 15 laps. So
oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe!
Okay.
Oh, that is going to lose him the draft right there. Actually, well, he maintained a little bit of gap because Cyber kind of backed off. He is on the cusp of losing that draft. Let me rephrase that. Any more mistakes and he will be out of it.
He might be out of it now. They gained a lot on the front stretch there.
And he was it. So kind of going through the field again. We haven't really talked about Liam. So it looks like the 48, the 41, and the 43 all seem to have found them. All seem to find themselves together. And the 43 is around on the front stretch. That was Justin Shackett getting loose, and the 43 was right there. That is unfortunate for Liam. But, you know, it's unfortunate. You hate to see it, but like I said, that was the risk of being on the outside and your inside getting loose. And the person on the inside getting loose.
I'll be honest with you, Pat, I'm not sure I want to be in either lane side by side coming out of 4. I feel like I need every inch of that racetrack just to keep the car under control. If I'm on the bottom, I'm going to spin out. If I'm on the top, I'm gonna get killed. So I
Well,
mean,
the thing is, like, I have no idea what 704 was thinking, honestly. When they made the presets, they put the track bars way too high and the front weight way too low. And then same thing with the brake bias. Like the brake bias, like default at Texas is like a short track brake bias. Brake bias, it's like 58 or something like that. To me, anyway, it's way too little for Texas. So it's just little things like that that make Texas really annoying, but also, in a way, a driver track because you have to, on a preset, you have to maintain and make the most out of what you're given. And, you know, you're given 9 sliders to choose from. And, of course, you can make adjustments to each. But choosing the one that fits best for Texas, personally, I prefer a 3. Which is actually one of the tighter setups I've ever run at any track currently on the calendar. But, you know, it's sometimes you just have to take that sacrifice in order to run well. One person I'm seeing really fall back, I didn't mean to interrupt you right there, is the 19 of Agent Orange. He fell really far back off the 18. He must have got loose or something, maybe clobbered the wall off too. Looks like the 20 is given the position to the 17 and the 6. I think he's pitting, actually. So... Oh, Xander's around! Oh, Xander around on the front stretch!
championship implications.
Major championship implications! Oh, no! This is where it all falls apart, BS.
Yep, it was fun while it lasted.
The race is still not over yet. Of course, a lot of racing to still be done. Chicken, are you guys getting close to another round of pit stops?
19's pitting. I'm at 9 laps of fuel, so the leaders are probably 8 or 9 away. A lot of the guys who short pitted are going to be pitting any time now.
Yes, this is interesting. Whenever you get a chance, Chicken, can you let us know what lap it is so we can actually do the math on who can potentially make it in X amount of stops? Xander's frustrated. You can just tell right now. Yeah, he just clobbered outside turn 2. He is frustrated as all get out right now. And when this happened last, he honestly parked it for the night. I think, BS, I think this championship may... we might as well just write it to the 14 right now.
53 to go. Oh, they're crashing in front of me. Yep, and that was unavoidable.
Oh!
Oh, that's a
my
big
goodness.
crash. That's gotta be a caution, right?
That's... No caution.
Worst car in the 41 got together. Joe is now the leader.
Joe is now the leader. Race implications. Cyber's now P2, I'm assuming. Chicken now P3.
Yes.
So, Chicken, from your perspective, what happened there?
Not 100% sure. It almost looked like the 9 blew a tire, just the way his car turned. But he turned dead left right before the entry of turn 1 and slammed the 41 who was below him. And they both spun on the apron entering turn 1, and there was no avoiding for the leaders.
So I'm seeing Quinhouse.
Yep. That's a good comparison, especially at this track.
All right. Well, it looks like someone else is on the front stretch as well. Who is that, I wonder?
That was Liam.
The 43 of Liam may also be parking it as well, or else he may have gotten loose. Again, now you can see that everyone's kind of spread on out. Everyone's now at the mercy of each other now. And, of course, now that front pack is... the front pack is really split on up. Joe is leading this race. That's actually unforeseen, honestly. I don't think he was on anyone's radar. No offense to him, but running a part-time drive and not putting in a lap, we didn't really have anything to go on where he was in terms of pace.
I remember him being really good here in the FRL race, but with the between Chicken, Hunty, and wanting to see what Xander could do, because I don't think Xander raced the Texas race I was in. We just and Jagger, that's the grass. But anyway, I just couldn't see myself picking him as a top 3 wins to watch, but I could have definitely picked him 4th or 5th, certainly. So he would fit into the dark horse category, as you might like to call it.
Yes. Dark horses, of course, for anyone watching right now, are the ones that, normally, like, given the right circumstances, can be up there. I can tell that Xander is driving frustrated. I think he knows the implications about what just happened, and he is taking as much out of it as possible. He's taking every opportunity. He's on fresh tires as well, so... Oh yeah, that reminds me, we need to start doing the math on this, about who can make it all the way.
Is that Joe signaling the pit?
Yeah, Xander hitting the 22, looks like.
Joe's pitting.
22's out of fuel. 22's out of fuel. Unless he just really slowed on down in order to make pit road. That was real interesting. Something happened with Worscott again. I was correct. BD did run out of gas.
Chicken's pitting, Cyber's staying out. On the Rockstar, where's he at?
I think he
He
was
got the worst end of
affected.
that.
Yeah, he got the worst end of the worst cut. 41 car deal.
Okay, it looks like he has fresher tires because he's just going around on the outside. Maybe not.
Alright, well, we're going to
Rockstar's
definitely
being
need
the
a... 19 gets really loose. Chicken, whenever you get a chance, we're definitely going to need a top 5 update because that really changes things.
Cyber pitting this time.
It should be
Chicken, you're also
Joe,
live on Discord, by the way.
Oh, my bad. It should be Joe, Chicken, Cyber, probably Rockstar, top 4. I don't know who's 5th now since BD ran out of fuel.
Ooh, that was really close between the BD and Nathan. Nathan tried to go down low, and that was not enough gap. That was also his prerogative. He did blend correctly, so honestly, that's another one of those risk versus reward. Do you try to take the gap and potentially spin yourself out? I think Hunty's out of fuel as well.
I do not see Joe. I think he may have
Did
sped off
Joe
the
get a
road.
speeding penalty?
Did Joe speed?
I don't.
And
I was looking to see where
Rockstar must have just came off pit road. That was an illegal blend line violation. He will be called. Yep. That will be a blend line violation. We have called this before at Las Vegas. If you guys recall, BD was called for a blend line violation, so unfortunately I do have to call that. It comes up very rarely, though. Rockstar, blend line violation, passed through.
Chicken, you are the leader now, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to be following Rockstar to make sure he does follow the penalty. He has up to 3 laps to take it, so this will be lap 1. If not, he will be asked to leave the race.
If I'm Cyber right now, I'm loving this race. I'm just hitting my marks and doing everything I can to finish where I'm running right now. Nobody around him. Free racetrack everywhere. And I believe that's Chicken lapping the one of Xander.
Yes, Sanders currently 13th. I don't know how many laps down that is. Cyber is 2nd. Rockstar is currently 3rd, but he has a penalty. BD is 4th. So even after running out of fuel, BD still maintains 4th.
Wow. Tells you how tricky pit road is to get onto. Run out of fuel maybe helped him. I wish the heat streams, like when you're like just sitting watching a race, I wish they came with like a leaderboard so us who are just watching could tell where everybody is.
That would be nice if there was a leaderboard, you know, like any other sports game. That's what it is. Makes us have to try a lot harder in order to get information to people. Like, it keeps us honest, making sure we're paying attention.
Yeah. Rockstar pitting this time is as Pastor.
He's losing time rapidly, so he either left or he's pitting.
Yeah, so we're going to be looking at that later on. But it is always a rule for anyone that is unaware that a blend line, even if it's not specifically stated, the regulars here do know that you do have to blend on the backstretch. That's why people automatically do it. So yes, I will say that I did not say it, but I also thought it was assumed that you have to take the backstretch. So, just getting that on air.
Well, I guess I can finally give the top 5 update now that everything's officially cycled. So I'm 8 car, Chicken's leading, Cyber is second, BD is third, Mo Powa is fourth, and Agent Orange is fifth.
Wow. So UK has already moved up to P4, so that was interesting. Interesting to say the least. Very much a big change of events because after Joe's penalty, we have a top 5. So okay, so you said Agent Orange was P6 or P5?
P5.
Yes.
All right, so that would probably mean Packers is P6. And then right behind that, Joe would be P7. So where would they be at on track then? What's the distance between you and P5 there, Chicken?
Nathan is 15 seconds behind, so he's literally
About
half a track.
Half a track. So okay, so that would probably mean that Joe is actually racing for P5 realistic right now. So Packers P6, and then Nathan right in front of both of those guys, P5. So Joe is now on the cusp of getting back into the top 5.
Hunty just passed both of them. Did he lose a lap or something?
He did run out of fuel, remember?
Okay, that makes sense.
Same thing with BD. Same thing. So BD, despite running out of fuel, is still in P3. And so Cyber fell out of the top 5 as well. Wait, you said, or is he P2?
He's second
P2.
place.
He's second. Okay, never mind. I lied. Lying out of my ass right now.
Right now, it's pretty much, if it goes green, it's a 2-car race. Third place is 10 seconds back. So.
Honestly, if I'm Cyber, I'm not even racing Chicken. I'm just trying to bring it home where I'm at.
And I have noticed throughout the run, it seems like I've been better long run than Cyber, but we'll see if that continues here, because he's currently 1.9 back, so I'll try to keep an eye on the gap for you guys.
Well, just don't get wrecked by Worstcott, please. Oh, and that's someone in the grass. Who's that? Is that the 48? The 48.
Well, he's been the official lawnmower the entire race, so I think he just picked a preset that was way too loose, honestly.
Well, I guess now we're in the race, I can't say I am on preset 7.
Oh, dang. Preset 7, and here I am talking preset 3. No matter... So that would explain why I couldn't catch up to you in Elite.
Yeah, my left thumb gets a workout, that's for sure.
All right.
Oh God, I can only imagine.
And that, so again, just to kind of clarify to everyone about the official rules for the blend line, we did have the initial incident that happened at Las Vegas with BD. He did get called for it, and since then, it has not been an issue. That was literally race 2 of the season. It has not been an issue since then. So just to put that out there with how that got called. We have not seen a single incident of a blend line until this point in race 17. So that's why it's not been stated, because we haven't had to state it. But yeah, just to clarify that to everyone.
And we are at 29 to go, so anyone who pits from here can make it.
And
fuel.
I can assume then everyone will be able to make it, because we don't see anyone making that final stop right now. I wonder where Xander is at in terms of position.
He was 13th when Chicken passed him. I'm not sure where he is now, though.
Oh, okay. Chicken, do you race with the tags on so you can see who and where they're at?
Yes.
Okay. So I would assume that's where you know about that.
Yeah, he was 13th when I lapped him, and that was at least 2 laps down, I assume. Oh, the 43's lagging in front of me. I think that's 43.
Yep,
Yeah,
that is Liam. We've been seeing from every now and then when a person's been coming up on him, he's just been getting out of the way. You can kind of see it right now when he gets. I know. See right there. He is getting a little bit high right there. He'll probably just.
Oh, that's.
Oh yeah.
Up there in front of him.
Yeah, he'll stay up top here. There you go.
Okay. And Cabe was looking loose in front of me as well.
And he's gonna get loose and just clobber you.
Oh, Cade. Hey, got to it, buddy.
Pitting?
There you go.
Cade is pitting.
Cade was 11th.
Cade was 11th. Okay, now we're starting to piece together the field. So Cyber's in P2 with about a backstretch distance. So coming off of 2, halfway down, coming out of 2 now. Okay, so about half a backstretch then. So then
Packers has moved into that top 5.
All right, there's someone. Yeah, man, the front stretch is. Oh, I feel so bad for the landscapers for this infield grass. That's why we need turf. But it looks like Joe is right behind, so that would be P6 right now. I wonder where Nathan is and all that. Nathan is. Oh dang, you can. I think he already pit. And we do have confirmation Rockstar did indeed leave the race. So it's unfortunate, but essentially after that penalty, I can understand. The 20.
I race with him every week. I know he gets a little emotional. They'll get it out, and then he's fine. So he's already over it.
Gotcha. The 20 is on fresh tires. You can just see.
Xander on pit road.
Yeah. Let's actually find the 20, because that is the difference between fresh and old tires. We're going to go on board Packers. Cade just passing on the outside like they're standing still. That is the difference between new Mr. Feelgoods right there, and he just goes off into the distance. So, yeah, as much as you want to immediately pit right now, there honestly may be a benefit to just waiting. Chicken, if you care to share, is 2 tires a potential strategy option for you?
Not for me.
Okay.
That's a big heck no for me. I think even if Cyber was to take 2, I'm far enough ahead to where I would run him down pretty easily. So there's no reason for me to not take 4.
So it looks like Nathan actually is not moving on pit road. I think he DNF'd as well. That's unfortunate.
I think if I'm Cyber as well, I'm doing the safe strat of taking 4 tires as well. I've got.
You're playing it safe. You're not taking any risks. I don't care if it means position or anything.
41's pitting? Oh man.
43's on.
That looked dangerous.
Yeah. Also, we're seeing. I see that, Nathan. Yeah, we had engine trouble. Yep. So Nathan unfortunately did have to DNF out of this race. Hey, at least it's not like wheel issues like you had at Vegas. So sometimes it happens like that. But yeah, the 41, I wonder if he sped or not. We've also been seeing as well that speeding penalties have actually been coming on up. Of course, Joe being bitten by that. Of course, being the first and foremost that comes to mind. That is the last thing you want as one of your, if you're up front, is to have a pit road speeding penalty, because that just takes you right out of the fight. So Chicken, do not speed on pit road. So yeah, you can see that there is. Actually, I think no, Cyber's still there now. Looks like pitting this time though, so he is going to be comfortably in it. Oh, and then Nathan, so what happened there, said that he was trying to give space to people on fresher tires and then sped onto pit road. So I can imagine that race was, the race is essentially over at that point. So I get it. But you can see that there's actually a lot of people that you can see that aren't normally up here. So the 41 has pressure tires, the 20 has pressure tires. Apart from that, the 18's still out there. Chicken, whenever you get a chance, how many laps to go?
We are at 18 to go.
18 to go. And Joe has moved his way past Packers, so that is, when everything's all said and done, back into the top 5 positions as BD makes his way into pit lane.
Pitting.
Oh, there we go. 8 car is pitting this time. BS, who do you have your eye on right now?
I've been scrolling third field. I was watching Cyber a few minutes ago. Just not very much going on, and someone's in the grass again.
Is it Jagger?
No, it looked like a black car, maybe Liam.
Liam has also been one of those guys that just cannot keep off the front lawn. But at the same time, I understand why, because he's been giving room. So sometimes weirdly enough with this game, if you like lift off, you'd sort of think you would have more grip. Sometimes it gets you loose. So I can understand that. Oh, who is that? Is that Liam again?
Looked like it.
Oh my God! That is now. That could be a caution right there. Hopefully he's ghosted, because we have a wild 43 that's up on track.
I think he hit my ghosted car. That was weird.
It looked like he hit someone who was coming down their pit road. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the one coming up pit road that he did. I mean, I was ghosted on my screen, but obviously not.
Oh my God! We've seen something like that in real life IndyCar. We're coming off a pit lane. There was someone that blew a tire and just so happened to go straight into a person coming off pit lane. Just rotten luck. So good thing that you were ghosted. I mean, think about it. Like the entire decisions made in every single piece of that race, and you end up trashing each other coming off pit lane, and he gets loose. Looks like the 18's coming down this time as well. I'm assuming the 18's the leader then?
Yes, he is currently the leader.
Yes, and he is coming down this
Packers
time. Oh, he may have sped! That was way too fast! Oh, no, the 18, we're going to be on board with him to see if he indeed did speed on pit lane.
Cyber was very conservative entering pit road. Makes sense.
As he should be.
6 seconds back now.
As he should be. He does not want to... He's racing for a championship at this point, so yes. He should be racing for being very conservative. And the 18 did indeed get a penalty. That ends his chance at getting a top 5. That is unfortunate, as Packers now goes out and away. Chicken, whenever you get a chance, we're going to need a top 5 update yet again.
Well, Cade is 10th, and I just lapped him. Current
so
top 5.
9 are on blue lap.
Chicken, okay. Cyber, BD, Packers, and Brandon is 5th.
Really? Brandon's in P5. Okay. So the undercut has worked for Nathan. We saw him move all his way, undercut his way into P5.
Joe is now P5.
Oh, okay, good talk. All All right, well, never mind then. All right, still, top 5 from Joe is that's honestly what you want to see from someone who's part time. You know, have good runs at the track that you know you're going to do well at. Of course, his 2 previous races from this has been Talladega and Daytona, and we all know how they can turn out. Daytona especially. So yeah. From that though, looks like Joe is going to have a solid top 5, and all Packers needs to do is not do what he did at the Charlotte Xfinity race, and he will have a top 5. Chicken. Also, I did also see how you refer to yourself in the third person.
For the viewers, yes.
So, I wonder then who is P11. It's really hard to tell. I'm assuming it's Xander, considering that Cade is 2 cars in front of him, and you said that he was in 10th. So I'm assuming it's Xander. However, I can't assume because I don't know if he went 1 or 2 down. But I can see Cyber out of all of that is the next car right behind Xander. And of course, that is not for position. That is a difference of 10 spots. And BS coming into this race, we needed essentially the flip opposite of this to happen with Xander in P2 and Cyber in P11. However, sometimes it turns out to be well, quite the opposite.
I mean, it is what it is. Cyber did what he needed to do, and Xander made too many mistakes that he couldn't afford.
Mm-hmm. And that is another thing as well. On the flip side as well, you said BD was in P3, correct, Chicken?
Yes.
From of course, we keep his dad in his thoughts and prayers right now, but this would mean a lot to have a podium. This would be BD's first Cup podium if he were to finish, if this race were to finish right now. So I know he would be ecstatic for this to happen. Hopefully it does happen on a day that he needs it with his dad. So Nathan is asking who is leading the points. That is Cyber. It's almost as if we've been talking about this, the entire race. But that makes sense. Nathan was racing. He's not listening to the broadcast, so that's why. But yeah, Cyber is leading this race. Not the race. Chicken's leading the race, but leading the points, and by a considerable margin at that now after this stint.
What makes it really funny to me is Cyber's been leading since race 1 of the season.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat that I've known for a while, but I didn't want to say because usually that brings about bad luck. But Cyber has indeed been leading the standings since race 1, and that was his first and only win of the season at Auto Club. Since then, he has not lost the lead, which, despite having bad finishes, would you call that a perfect season? Leading the points in every single race from first to last? Because everyone has degrees of like a perfect season. Some say, "Oh yeah, get a win. You win every single race." Some say, "Oh, get a podium every single race." I mean, honestly, I would say a perfect season is you don't ever drop the point lead.
I mean, I think it's lower than that. Just win the championship without making any major mistakes, and that would qualify as a perfect season to me.
All right, well,
like,
there we go.
You don't have to be the leader in points every race. I certainly wasn't in Xfinity, but look where I'm at now.
Exactly, leading the combined standings as well as second in your day standings. So definitely a really good, especially from someone who's been taking a break from league racing for a while. Chicken, what lap is it right now? I'm sure we're coming to the end.
Yes, when I hit the line, it'll be 3 to go.
3 to go this time. Where are you at on track? Let me find you.
Coming off turn 4, I got 3 lap cars ahead of me.
Spicy.
Got one more worst COD to go through.
All right, well, there we go.
So this is 2 to go now.
Oh, too soon.
It's 3.
Oh,
it's
too
3
soon.
now. Okay.
Too soon. I had one worst COD to go through, and it was It was turn 4, the final lap. Anyway, we don't talk about that. So yeah, Chicken though coming to 2 to go now. For all intents and purposes, running a perfect race. Oh, where's God? Running a perfect race. Of course, not leading every single lap, but ever since we've gone green, which, if you think about it, BS has been the second half of the race. We've had all the cautions in the first half, and this second half has been caution free. So here we are with Chicken leading, coming to the white flag. I think has been a dominating performance. Has won the
Well,
pole. We're going to see if he has the fastest lap, and that will be, I guess, the trifecta of a perfect race right there. Is Goose right there? US Trek P9, I'm assuming.
P8.
P8. So I wonder who's P9 then.
hey, Chicken, what's your gap?
5.6. So I probably shouldn't even be doing this, but oh well.
And coming into turns 3 and 4, this will make the invites nice and easy because he is already here. Chicken in his third start will take the win and actually put himself in Season 1's All-Star race. So good show, Chicken.
Well
Thank
done.
you. It was a good
Well
race
deserved.
overall. I was happy it got into a green flag run. I feel like that benefited me personally. Because I practice pit road a lot, and that's where I seem to gain a lot of my ground.
And that's one thing that I wasn't about to say, but you kind of said it for me. It showed who practiced and who didn't. And you'd be surprised on how much time you can make up on pit lane. I'm gonna let them know about that. Hey guys, if I could have snapshots of the full results, that would be fantastic, please. I cannot do points otherwise, so thank you. All right, so yep, podium guys will be invited up to the booth. Of course, Chicken's already here, so Cyber and BD will be invited after this race. Good show, guys. If you do have any clips, send them to me, and we can look at them. All right, so weirdly enough, the favorites for this race, Hunty and Xander specifically, both ran into trouble. So that is very interesting to see. And who had the fastest lap? Not Chicken. Wow, BD did. Wow. With a 29.226. Is I saw before he left.
Holy, okay.
29.226. A tenth faster than qualifying. Of course, that was aided with draft, but
Draft.
still, it's to be expected. But yeah, so I'm sorry, Chicken, that you did not have a perfect race, but leading every lap and fastest lap, but you did win. So excellent show. So let's get these guys up here. And while we do wait for them, we can go through the full running order. So there's BD. We're waiting for Cyber, or sorry, invites, I should say. All right, so Xander, of course, coming in clutch with the full results. So while we are waiting, we have Chicken, of course, Cyber and BD, as we already established. Packers P4, Joe P5, Brandon P6, Bush in his return P7, Goose US Trek again, just being very consistent as a 1 point wrecked P8, Mopal Cat with his pit road speeding penalty P9, and Xander P10. Cade P11, Justin Shack at P12, Hunty P13, Worst Cod P14. Hello. P15 goes to Liam, Jagger P16, and Nathan P17. So Jagger, Nathan, Rockstar, and Piper are the non-finishers, making 15 total finishers. Good stuff, guys. I always say for anyone that has not been up here before, make sure that you have your voice on always allow, and you are not looking at the party screen, and just you're in game so the stream can hear you. Excellent show, guys. So from everyone's perspective, just overall, of course, we've been listening to Chicken this entire time. How was your thoughts on the race? And then we can go into individual questions. Well, there we go. And that seems to be one of life's great mysteries. We're going to be continue asking that questions for years to come. So um, that came out a lot meaner than to be said. Nathan's saying, BD, he can't hear you. So do you have your voice on always allow, or to have your voice allowed to be shared? Or you have your voice muted like I always do? Well, while we do check, BS, do you have a preference on who you want to interview?
I do not. I think I have interesting questions for each of them, actually.
Gotcha. So
So
we can
I,
all
I don't really mind.
we can just take turns then. All right. So while BD is figuring that out, let's just go into P2. So Cyber, you had a bit of a drought in your podiums. We actually kind of hit on it throughout the race. You have not had a podium since race 10 of the season, and that was actually at Dover. And since then, you've been finishing in top five, top tens, or sometimes not even that. So you've been all over the map. How does it feel to get back on the podium here in the Cup Series? And well, now with after this race, one more race.
It feels refreshing to get back on the podium after the long drought that you just mentioned. Coming into Texas, I knew this was going to be a make or break race that would involve my chances of maybe going to get that championship or not, and I succeeded all the boxes the best I could. Had least amount of mistakes, just kept it calm, just kept my car in one piece, let it come to me, and results showed. Um, it was quite an interesting race from my perspective. I mean, it was just that was just nerve-wracking battling throughout the field. I mean, obviously, like BD mentioned, it was a one-lane track. I mean, when you're stuck on that outside, I mean, you really got to fight it on that top line. And when I was shuffled up there a few times, I just stayed calm. I'm like, this race is gonna be long. Just keep it going, keep it going. And I think at one point after, I think a round of pit stops, I think after a yellow, I knew that was a nerve-wracking point because I knew my fellow champion contender in the one was right in front of me. So I was like, just go to the end and hopefully you're with him in the end. And surprisingly, it got pretty festive where some guys were all over the place and then the one made a mistake. And when I saw that, I'm like, I gotta take advantage. I just need to keep this car up front, bring her home to a good finish, and I did that.
And yes, exactly. So you actually took the words right out of my mouth. You actually mentioned that when you're on the outside, you have to really fight for it. That's exactly what I said in the broadcast. When you're up top with a one groove track, that top side is not the preferred one. So you are fighting in order to find a hole. How aggressive was the field around you, knowing that you're fighting, yes, for a win. You're always fighting for a win, but you're fighting for something more. Whereas you said you were nervous, but kind of like, did you feel nervous? I guess coming off of four while you're on the top side, knowing that people were getting loose and you could get clobbered into next year.
Yeah, there was at points where I felt that way coming off of four on the outside, but everyone really did really good, not getting that way loose at times. But yeah,
All right, well, excellent show. I for sure you have gained points on Xander, but that's to be expected. If the rough estimate that I have is you are now at 138 above, so a very safe distance, but of course you're not out of well range yet. So of course we still have one more race to go through. This championship technically is not over yet, but it's looking really good for you. So excellent show, Cyber. BS, you wanted to ask a question?
Um, yeah, I have one question.
And okay,
All right. Well,
okay.
I think Patton's already touched on most of the stuff I want to talk about. But one question I do have for you with Texas out of the way, you've got a big points advantage. How do you feel going into Homestead, and do you have any special strategy for Homestead, if any?
Challenge mode,
nah,
high
not
side only.
Nah, not really. I mean, I know what Homestead's gonna be like. I mean, it's you like in the start of the run you'll be fine, but then like the next 5 laps you're gonna be get loose. So I've already taken the advocate of what that race is gonna be like since I ran a similar race to like that outside of here like a few months ago. So I feel like I'll be fine. I mean, with the points that I've gained out of tonight, I think I should be fine. I just gotta just finish it out next week. That's all I'm thinking.
And it's
Okay. Okay.
and that's all you need, honestly. All right, so I'm gonna unmute BD because of his dog. So give me 1 second.
I guess I have a question for Cyber real quick.
Oh boy.
So I was just looking back at the footage. So 53 to go when the worst COD and 41 incident happened. What was going through your head entering turn one right there?
I've already went through that incident before outside of here when I was like on my way to my first one outside of a different league. I saw a wreck in front of him. I'm like, okay, so that's all over again. So then I'm like, okay, let's get through this. Don't get involved. Keep it going. That's what I did.
Okay.
All right. And BD, can you hear me, or is he talking? All right, cool. So, maiden podium, and of course, on the day of all days, that probably means the most for you, with your dad and all, being in the hospital. Again, this race was dedicated to him. Make sure that he will make a speedy recovery. How does it feel for you to get your podium on a day that you thought you weren't even going to race? Language. Good. So to kind of recap for anyone that still can't hear him, apparently, um, essentially he said that he can't put it into words, but despite not having the speed in order to challenge for the win, he is very comfortable with where he finished. A podium is still a podium. Now, another question, BD, for you is: does this add momentum? Of course, we are going into one more race for this season, and then a mini season for fun and prizing. Of course, that is the Dash for Cash season. Does this add momentum going into forward, saying that, hey, you know what, I can get it done. I just had rotten luck or mistakes, even that have put me in the back, but I can get it done. Well, Well, there you go. We actually covered your rise. Of course, this is P3 in the title fight, and of course, I know you now at this point you don't have unfortunately a shot at the title mathematically, but you can potentially lock up P2 should things go right or wrong, in depending on your perspective with Xander. What's your forecast like going into Homestead? And that's really all you can do, honestly. BS, do you have anything?
I did not. You've covered everything.
A All right, and now, oh, go on. Of course. Well, there we
I've
go.
got the Coors Light ready to go.
Uh, for anyone that couldn't hear him, he did say he wanted to shout out everyone at Von Poon Racing, all of his teammates, Bush, B. Wright, and Piper, Cade, aka Dale. We're gonna go party with this podium. So excellent job there. We are looking forward to seeing what you can do at Homestead. Of course, that high side can lead to victory, but also kind of similar with Texas. So hopefully we'll see you up there as well. Chicken, of course. We've been talking to you all race there, bud, but you got it done at your hometown track. So, Chicken, describe well, I mean, we already know kinda how it felt in the car for you, but how does it feel to get this win in your third start?
It feels good. I mean, I haven't run much in this series, so I mean, first career win. I don't get to say that too often nowadays because I don't run many new series. Um, and it's at the home track, which for some reason I've really struggled to win at in other leagues. So it feels good to win there. And then in this game, I mean, the turn four is a little goofy, but like you said way earlier in the race, it does kind of make it a driver track, and you have to really work on what you're going to do with your setup in order to get through there fast. And I think that's where I got a lot of my advantage later on in the race because I noticed I was able to hold it pretty straight through there in the later portions of a run, and a lot of people were struggling, and that's where I gained a lot of my time, I think. But overall, I'm happy with how the car ran.
Well, there we go. And of course, you had it in dominating performance. Every single stint, you were extending the gap, of course. And with that second half of the race being a green flag run, essentially, 80 laps of continuous green flag racing. Um, how did the strategy change? Because we were kind of talking about like if you kind of adjust for 10 lap sprints, which is what it was there for the first half, but then we transitioned to the long runs. Honestly, if you want to share which one did it favor, you said long ones, correct?
Uh, for how I decided to set my car up, yes.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, if they'd have been short runs, I mean, because I was really tight, especially early in the race, I kept losing spots, kind of getting stuck on the top, and I was just super tight because I was set up for the long run. But once everyone finally got it cleaned up, that's when the long run speed showed.
Yes, and honestly, that's what that is exactly what we like to see here. Exactly. The newcomers, I guess I should say, and the fresh faces in the league coming out and winning. BS, did you have anything you want to add?
Um, I was gonna ask you, Chicken, about the first part of the race. You were looked like you were getting shuffled back in fourth. Did you have any doubts about whether the race would go green, or were you just hoping that it would, and then you knew that when it would give you the advantage?
Um,
If that
I
makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I assumed it would go green eventually. I mean, at least I was hoping. The last race I ran was Daytona, and obviously that was a different story.
Oh
But
God, don't even get me started.
um, but yeah, I was a little bit worried early on because I Cyber passed me lap one, and I kind of underestimated how strong normal draft was. So I was kind of giving up the bottom for free. It was a little bit of a mistake on my part early in the race. And then, I was surprised with how much speed a lot of people had. I thought there'd be three or four of us that were kind of the class of the field, and it really wasn't that way for the first 50 or so laps. There was a lot of different guys that could stay up there. But once it got spread out, that's when it finally became clear. And luckily, I just didn't make any mistakes on pit road and survived that interesting crash right in front of the leaders.
Very interesting crash, to say the least. Congrats on your win, Chicken, and congrats to everybody on their podium finish. Cyber, you're locking up the championship more or
Not
less with
officially.
this race,
Not
and
officially.
not officially, but practically speaking. And BD, congrats on your top three again. Thoughts and prayers with you, your dad, and your family, and we hope he will have a speedy recovery.
And then chicken for coming. Yeah, anytime. Um, I didn't mean to thank you right there, but um, but yeah, and then chicken. I meant to say BD, but I'm still looking at chicken's car, and I was like, oh yeah, chicken. And but yeah, BD. No, no, yeah, on a podium on all days of days. So it's very much welcome, and that's why we are here doing what we do. And then now Chicken coming out and winning the race and locking his ticket into the season one All Star race. Excellent show from everyone here. We had a a bit of a caution fest in the first half, but green flag racing in the second half. I'd like to thank everyone for coming on out and watching this. We are moving in. We're moving in the right direction, is what I'll say. Season 0 is always meant for change, so we're gonna work on the kinks for season 1 to bring the best quality racing as possible. So we will talk about that in the next installment of MRL Fastlane. A little bit of hints right there. But the Xfinity Series will be up next. They're at the Roval. Of course, BS, you're going to be racing in that race tomorrow. Hopefully we can see you in the podium positions as well. So good luck on that, and good luck to everyone racing that as well. Excellent race, guys, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.